Hello and welcome back to Cruising Off Duty. Before I posted that last episode where I showed you I bought the veteran Sherman, I'd already posted a photo on Facebook, Cruising Off Duty, and my personal, and I got one response from everybody that's ever found out I bought this is, "You are crazy, what are you thinking? You've never ridden anything like this, you're gonna die." In fact, I got that one from my mom. "Please don't kill yourself," is what she said. My brother, on the other hand, a little more adrenaline junkie than even me, said, "Cool, let's go out and see how fast it can go." No, that is not what I'm planning to do. I'm the conservative one of the family, believe it or not. But I wanted to talk about how I know it can be dangerous, and I know a lot of people are concerned. In fact, everybody I've ever told, coworkers included, that I bought this, all saw videos on YouTube about this and said, "What, are you insane?" And no, I'm not insane. I plan to take great precautions, and that's what this episode is going to be about. So yeah, let's talk about what I plan to wear. Now keep in mind, I'm going to show you a ton of gear. I'm not always going to tell you the brand. I'll put in the Amazon links where I bought it down below in case you're curious. But I'm going to wear a lot more than I normally probably would when I get experienced. Two reasons. A, I'm brand new at this, and I'm certainly going to fall down trying to learn how to ride this properly. I won't be as skilled as I will be, let's say, a few months down the road. B, it's winter. Here in Ottawa, Canada, it's already cold. It's -3 degrees right now, which actually for Canada's winters is actually almost balmy. In fact, in a month or two, when it's dropping down to -30 and we get a day with a high of -3, we're practically going to be walking around in shorts and flip-flops because Canadians are crazy. So let's talk about the gear I plan to wear. And I'll talk about what the minimum is I'll wear, like in the summer when it's hot, and what I'm going to wear right now. Let's start with what I'll wear right now. Absolute must, first thing is you have to wear a full face helmet. I don't want to even point you in the right direction to see the footage or the photos, the aftermath of people on electric vehicles falling without a helmet or with a half helmet, such as this. If they wear a half helmet and they fall, you never know what's coming. You're never prepared, and you almost always do a face plant. So this is the one I ride on my motorcycle. I haven't bought a dirt bike type of one, off-road dirt bike type of helmet yet. I don't need to because it's winter and I'm going to want all this extra protection and warmth. So this is, as you can see, it actually has the Harley Davidson symbol on it. This is the one I ride with on my V-Rod. If I'm going any distance or at any speed, I always wear a full face helmet. If I'm just putting down the road in my subdivision to the store to buy milk or something, you will see footage of me wearing just a open face helmet. I don't suggest it if you're going to go at any speed at all. Probably unbeknownst to you, well, if you're new to the channel, you might not even know I'm a police officer, but yes, I'm a active duty police officer in Ottawa. And even those that know that already may not know that I spent 8 years as a fatal collision investigator. So I went to the aftermath of some pretty nasty collisions. And one thing I learned, well, you should know this anyway. If you're riding a motorcycle, you should be wearing more than just a helmet. I always cringe when I see people going down the highway wearing shorts and flip-flops and just a half helmet because I've seen the aftermath of that. And yeah, in the collision investigation unit, we often would say they're going to end up being road pizza. So same is exactly true with a faster electric vehicle. Now, keep in mind, you can probably get away with a half helmet on a motorcycle because if your engine cuts out, you have time to slowly roll to the side of the road and bring it to a safe stop. On an electric vehicle, especially a unicycle where you only have one wheel, if your engine, your motor cuts out for any reason, you're doing a face plant. So again, wear a full face helmet at all times. Just, you don't want to see the aftermath of somebody's face and they're missing chiclets when they do a face plant. So knowing you're going to do a face plant, the next thing that's an absolute must is wrist guards. Now I'll probably do a little, I'll wear them in the background and you'll see what they look like on me. And wrist guards, number 2, got to have these because when you fall, especially when you're not expecting it, you're going to put your hand out on the road and the first thing that's going to hit is your palm. If you have a wrist guard with this plastic kind of thing, you can slide a bit, and also this stops your wrist from hyperextending to the point that you break your wrist. Absolute must. Next thing is elbow pads. My elbow pads and then my knee pads. I'll just show them together because they're almost indistinguishable which one's which because the elbow pads are just slightly smaller than the knee pads. So there you go. Must have, even in the summertime, helmet, wrist guards, elbow pads, knee pads. That's what I'll always ride with. If you ever see a video of me riding on my unicycle without those things, give me crap in the comments, okay? Because I should be wearing those. Now, for the winter, I have the ability to wear more without looking too foolish. So I've gone the extra step. I bought hip and butt pads. This will protect your lower spine if you fall on your butt, and also your hips. So I'll wear these underneath my jeans, and even over top of that, if I'm out in the cold, I have padded motorcycle pants that I'll wear over top of my jeans. So I should have a lot of protection on the lower legs, and I'll have those knee pads on under that. Then on top of that, and I think if I'm going any distance at all, at any speed, similar to what I talked about with the motorcycle, I'm going to be wearing this in lieu of just the elbow pads and wrist pads. So I'll wear the wrist guards, but this is a padded, sort of a spandexy jacket, and actually it looks pretty good on me. I got that kind of superhero look going on. So that's cool, and I'm gonna wear that unless it's extremely hot. Now obviously, Ottawa goes from one extreme to another. In the summertime, we go up to like plus 35 degrees Celsius, and in the wintertime, we go down to minus 35 Celsius. So yeah, so you gotta get used to riding in the heat as well in the summertime, and wearing the spandex suit might be extreme in super hot temperatures. We shall see. I plan to wear it whenever I can though. Being that it's winter time, I plan to go even one step further in protection and warmth. This is my motorcycle coat that I wear when I'm on my V-Rod and I'm gonna go on the highway. I have a lighter one for in town. This is like the super heavy duty coat I have, and it has built-in elbow pads, shoulder pads, back pads. So it kind of is duplicating what this one does. That this would be my summer option, unless it's extremely hot. And then this is going to be my winter option, wearing this followed by this. So take it from me, the aftermath of these collisions are pretty, well, you won't sleep at night if you see what happens to these people who don't wear proper protective gear. And I want to be a proponent for always wearing it. So you'll see me wearing that. So there you go. In fact, two funny comments I got on Facebook was when my sister-in-law saw it. She's an emergency room nurse, said, well, it's just a matter of time before I see you in the emergency room. And my good buddy from the collision days is still there. Darwin said to me, I guess it's just a matter of time before I'm investigating your scene. So, no, I plan to ride conservatively. Now, obviously, you can't account for everything. I mean, you could have a malfunction on the one wheel where it just stops and you do a face plant. But if I'm wearing all this gear, I should be fine. Something that I know, being a collision investigator, is this speed, you know, the saying speed kills. Yeah, speed kills to a certain extent, but it's actually not the speed that kills you, it's the delta V. So the change in velocity is what kills you. So quick math, if you're driving down the highway, and generally around here, it seems like everybody on the highway wants to drive 120 kilometers an hour. So if you're driving 120 kilometers an hour and somebody cuts you off and they're doing 100 kilometers an hour, it'll actually be a relatively minor collision because your change in velocity won't be that much when another car in front of you is doing 100 and you're doing 120. The change in velocity going from 120 to 0, if you hit a cement pillar for one of those overpasses, that's what kills you, the change in velocity. So if I fall off my unicycle and I don't hit something stationary, I'm just protecting my skin from becoming road pizza. That's what all this gear is for. As long as I just slide along with all this gear on, I, fingers crossed, should be fine. So there you go. Just a quick video to say I have taken every precaution to try and minimize injury to myself. It hopefully will make my friends, family, and coworkers think I'm a little less crazy than they think I am now. So hopefully you got something out of this. If you did, show the channel some love by giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. What I have coming up, obviously the next episode is me filming myself trying to learn how to ride this big beast back here. And hopefully it goes smooth. I've seen videos where people pick it up in 20 minutes, and I've seen other videos where it takes 2 hours of constantly trying to get on it before they feel somewhat comfortable. And then it might take days, if not weeks, to be riding around where you feel really comfortable. So we'll see how quickly I do. In fact, I've made it tough on myself being a new rider, getting such a big electric unicycle. That's 77 pounds back there, which is bordering on the heaviest unicycle on the market. And everybody who's in the know says start smaller. Don't be silly and start with the biggest, but you know, I'm not the smart, I guess. So there you go. Subscribe to the channel, you'll see more of that, and I'll also be testing how the electric unicycle works in cold temperatures, because -3 is downright balmy compared to what it's going to be, and I'm going to see how it is to ride a unicycle in -10, -20, maybe even try out to go out there in -30. The unicycle might survive, but I might not, riding along it in -30, but we shall see. So until next time, this is Craig signing off, wishing you safe cruising. Now, I don't know if you're a tech head like me when it comes to camera gear, but I always am curious what YouTubers are using to film with. So as bonus content and as a kind of a special shout out to the patrons that support the channel, I'm going to tell you about all the new camera gear I've just recently acquired. And as an outro, I just want to thank the patrons that support the channel. Without them, I couldn't afford some of the camera gear I've recently gotten. I'll mention some of the ones I've recently purchased, and you will also think I'm crazy for how much money I've spent. So what I'm filming right now on is the new, well, sort of new, Sony a7S III. I pre-ordered this back on August 10th when Sony said it was going to be released on September 24th. I already had the Sony a7 III. It's a great camera, but this one, for a myriad of reasons, is even that much better. So I won't go into all those reasons right here. That's not what you're tuning in for. But I finally got the Sony a7S III literally 4 days ago on like December 2nd. So shame on you, Sony, for saying that you have something that's going to be released on September 24th, knowing you don't have enough stock to actually satisfy the people that pre-ordered on August 10th. Not unusual for Sony, because if you're trying to get a Sony PlayStation 5 or whatever the newest one's called, you're probably still waiting for it. So shame on Sony. And the other thing, in case you're wondering, I always have been recording with a wireless lavalier mic. So that's how I can step away from the camera and still sound exactly the same. When I film on the unicycle, I will be filming with yet another camera I just got, the Insta360 X2. I'll put it on the screen. I don't know if I've got the name right. So I plan to film with the 360 camera, and I plan to try and wire up the wireless lavalier microphone, because the sound on those 360 cameras is trash. Especially if you're moving through air, you'll just get nothing but wind noise. So it's useless to me. I'm a big proponent of having good audio. So there we go. And I also will vlog when I stop during these rides. I will probably vlog not with the Insta360, because why would I? I'm going to vlog with my Sony ZV-1, which is my little vlog camera. So there we go. That's the latest cameras I've bought. And thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel. Much love. Okay, so this is with all the gear on. I'm definitely protected. Whew, I'm also very hot. It's a lot of layers. A lot of layers. I'm gonna be glad it's -3 outside. Let's go riding. Oh, can't reach the camera with all this on. So until next time, this is Craig signing off, wishing you safe cruising.